He returned, expecting familiarity, carrying secrets and confidence. What waited behind the door was not anger, not confrontation, but absence. Every step revealed a truth too late to escape. The home he left unchanged had already been erased. Ownership, trust, and certainty collapsed together. This story unravels what happens when betrayal underestimates silence. When a husband returns with another woman, believing control remains, only to discover everything he owned is already gone. Welcome, my story-loving family. Before we dive into today's exciting story, I have a humble request. Please subscribe to the channel and hit the like button. Your support really helps our community grow. The house once felt like a living thing, breathing with routine and quiet hope. Every morning followed the same rhythm, sunlight touching the walls before responsibility filled the air. She believed stability was built through patience, through sacrifice, through waiting for love to return to where it once lived. Her husband traveled often, claiming opportunity, ambition, and pressure as reasons for distance. She accepted those reasons because believing felt easier than questioning. Days passed with short messages, delayed calls, and excuses wrapped in exhaustion. The silence slowly became normal, even when it hurt. She kept the house running alone, managing bills, memories, and expectations with a calm face and tired hands. Friends noticed changes she pretended not to see. The laughter faded. The warmth disappeared. Still, she convinced herself that marriages survived seasons of emptiness. At night, she sat with unanswered thoughts, telling herself that loyalty meant endurance. The walls listened. The rooms remembered better days. Beneath the surface of routine, something fragile began to crack. Love was no longer spoken, only assumed. And assumptions, when ignored too long, quietly prepare the ground for irreversible loss and painful awakening. The trip extended longer than promised, and the silence grew heavier. Messages became shorter, colder, stripped of warmth. She felt it first as discomfort, then as a quiet dread she could no longer silence. Small inconsistencies appeared, scattered like clues she tried to avoid. Expenses she did not recognize surfaced. Dates did not align. Excuses repeated themselves too perfectly. Each detail felt minor alone, but together they formed something impossible to ignore. She searched for reassurance, but found none. Her reflection changed, eyes carrying questions her heart already understood. One evening, a single image appeared online by accident, tagged carelessly, erased quickly, but not fast enough. The truth arrived without mercy. Her husband was not alone. Another presence existed beside him, smiling where she once stood. The betrayal burned slowly, spreading through memory, trust, and identity. She did not scream. She did not collapse. Something colder replaced the pain. Clarity arrived with precision. If loyalty had been abandoned so easily, then illusion had no reason to remain. She reviewed documents, accounts, and legal realities with steady resolve. The house, once sacred, became a symbol of everything she carried alone. Ownership became leverage. Silence became strategy. She met professionals quietly, signatures replacing tears. The home was sold with efficiency, memories reduced to numbers and timelines. Each step felt surreal, yet empowering. While he planned a return shaped by arrogance and secrecy, she dismantled the life he believed unchanged. Boxers replaced photographs. Echoes replaced familiarity. The walls no longer waited. The day approached when he would return, unaware that nothing remained as he left it. She stood in an empty room, breathing deeply, feeling loss and freedom intertwine. The betrayal had taken much, but it also revealed her strength. What he believed permanent had already vanished. And when the truth finally collided with his expectations, there would be no explanation waiting. Only consequences shaped by his choices and her silence. The car arrived at the familiar street, carrying confidence and deception side by side. Laughter echoed where loyalty should have been. The house appeared unchanged from a distance, standing calmly under the sky, hiding the truth within its walls. He stepped forward, expecting comfort, possession, control. The door opened to emptiness. Rooms stood hollow, stripped of warmth, stripped of evidence that love had ever lived there. Footsteps echoed sharply, mocking assumptions made too easily. The realization struck without warning. Furniture gone, memories erased, stability destroyed. His certainty collapsed instantly. The space answered nothing. Documents lay waiting, cold and final, confirming what his absence had allowed. The home no longer belonged to him. The life he abandoned had moved on without permission. Panic replaced arrogance. Shock replaced control. The weight of consequence settled fully for the first time. Outside, the silence felt heavier than confrontation ever could. Everything he believed secure had vanished quietly. The betrayal returned to him multiplied, reflected through loss he never anticipated. Dear audience, if you're enjoying the story, don't forget to give it a like. It really helps. She did not witness his reaction, and she did not need to. Closure arrived through action, not observation. The sale allowed her to rebuild on her terms, free from waiting and excuses. She relocated without spectacle, carrying lessons instead of regret. Healing did not come instantly, but dignity returned with every step forward. He faced consequences alone, forced to explain choices that once felt hidden. Trust could not be recovered where respect was abandoned. What he lost extended beyond property. He lost certainty, reputation, and the comfort of being believed without question. The imbalance he created returned heavier, undeniable. The story left a quiet message behind. Betrayal thrives on silence, but strength grows in clarity. Love cannot survive where honesty is optional. Accountability arrives whether invited or not. She chose herself without revenge, proving that power does not always shout. Sometimes it simply leaves. Life continued, shaped by awareness and resolve. The ending did not erase pain, but it restored control. And in reclaiming her future, she transformed loss into independence.